Welcome to Speak Slow English.
Let's start learning together. Hello and welcome back to Speak Slow English, the podcast that helps you improve your English one day at a time. I'm Emily.
And I'm Jake. We are so glad you could join us today for a warm and cozy chat.
Today, we're talking about something that can make even advanced English learners a little nervous.
That's right. We are diving into the world of phone calls in English.
I know, right? It sounds scary. When you're on the phone, you can't see the other person's face or body language. You only have their voice.
Exactly. And sometimes the connection is bad, which makes it even harder.
But don't worry. Today, our goal is to make you feel much more comfortable. We're going to share some simple phrases, what to say, and maybe more importantly, what to avoid.
Yep. By the end of this episode, you'll be ready to make that call. So, let's get started.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about answering the phone. What's the most basic, simple way to answer, Jake?
Just a simple, friendly hello. It works for friends, family, and even in many business situations. You can't go wrong with it.
I agree. It's my go-to. But what if you're at work and you want to be a bit more formal?
Good question. If it's a professional call, you can say your name. For example, hello, Jake speaking.
Right. Or you could say, this is Emily. For some reason, speaking sounds a little more professional to me.
It does. And if you are answering for a whole company, you might say, good afternoon, Bright Company, Jake speaking. How can I help you?
That's a perfect example. Very clear and helpful. Okay, so we know how to answer. What about making a call? How do you start the conversation?
Well, first you greet them. Hi or hello. Then you should say who you are. Hi, it's Jake.
Yes, always introduce yourself. It's polite. Don't just start talking about what you want.
Right. And here's a really great tip. After you say hello, ask if it's a good time to talk.
Oh, I love that one. It's so considerate.
It really is. You can say something like, hi Sarah, it's Jake. Is now a good time? Or, am I catching you at a bad time?
That shows you respect their schedule, and if they are busy, they can tell you, and you can call back later. No problem.
Exactly. Now, for formal calls, it's a little different. You would say who you are and where you're from. Hello, my name is Jake from Bright Company.
And then you ask for the person you want to speak to. A polite way to do this is, could I please speak to Mr. Smith? Or, may I speak with Maria?
Using words like could or may makes it sound much softer and more polite than just saying, I want to talk to Maria.
Definitely. Politeness is key, especially in more formal settings.
All right, so we've started the call. What about during the conversation? There's some really common, natural phrases that are super helpful.
Yes, like what if you need the person to wait for a second? Maybe you need to find a pen or open a door.
You could say, hang on a moment, or hold on a second, please. Both are very common.
Hang on is a little more informal, right? I'd probably use that with a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Could you hold on for just a moment is a bit more formal and great for work calls.
Okay, what about problems with hearing the other person? This happens all the time.
It does. If the sound is too low, you can say, I'm sorry, could you speak up a little? I can't hear you very well.
That's much better than just shouting, what?
Yes, please don't do that. Another useful phrase is, sorry, you're breaking up a little. This tells the person the connection is bad.
Oh, that's a great one. You're breaking up. It means I can only hear parts of your words.
Right, and if you miss something they said, don't be afraid to ask them to repeat it.
This is so important. What's a good way to ask?
You can say, sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Or would you mind repeating that?
Both of those are polite and clear. It's much better to ask than to just pretend you understood.
Oh, absolutely. That leads us perfectly into our next section, things to avoid on a phone call.
Yes, the don'ts of phone calls. My number one don't is speaking too fast.
When we get nervous, we tend to speed up, but on the phone, clarity is so important. So take a breath and speak slowly and clearly.
It makes a huge difference. Another thing to avoid is saying, uh-huh, or yes, yes, when you don't actually understand.
Right, this can cause big misunderstandings.
It really can. You might agree to something you don't want, like, yes, yes, I agree to buy 1,000 pizzas.
Exactly. 1,000 pizzas would be a big problem, so always ask for clarification if you're not sure.
What's another don't for you, Jake?
Avoid multitasking too much. You know, when you're washing dishes or typing a loud email while on the phone, the other person can usually hear it.
That's a good one. It can be distracting and makes it seem like you're not paying attention.
Try to give the call your full attention, especially if it's an important one.
Great advice. Also, avoid being too direct or demanding. We talked about this a little bit earlier.
Right. Instead of give me the information, you can say, could you please tell me? Using those polite words makes all the difference.
Totally. It creates a much friendlier conversation.
Okay, one last tricky situation. Leaving a voicemail. People get so stressed about this.
Oh, the beep. That sudden beep that means you have to start talking. It's so much pressure.
It is, but the key to a good voicemail is to keep it short and simple.
Yes. What are the essential things to include?
3 things: your name, your phone number, and a very short reason for your call.
Perfect. So an example would be, hi, this is Emily calling for Jake. I'm just calling to confirm our meeting tomorrow. My number is 555-1234. Thanks. Bye.
That's a fantastic voicemail. Clear, simple, and has all the necessary information. And remember to say your phone number slowly.
Oh, that is such a good tip. There's nothing worse than having to listen to a voicemail 5 times to try and write down the number.
Exactly. So speak slowly and clearly, especially when you say your name and number.
You know, before we go on, maybe we should cover some specific vocabulary related to phones, words that people will hear all the time. This has all been so helpful. I feel more confident already.
Me too. And you know, this feels like a great time for a quick reminder for our wonderful listeners.
It does. If you are enjoying this episode and finding it useful, we would be so grateful if you took just 1 second to click the like or follow button.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, Speak Slow English. It means you'll never miss an episode.
It really helps our small podcast grow and reach more English learners just like you. And we love reading your comments, so feel free to say hello.
We do. Your support means the world to us. Okay, back to our topic.
All right, let's talk about ending a call. Sometimes this can feel a little awkward. How do you finish the conversation naturally?
That's a great point. You don't want to just hang up. You need a closing phrase.
Right. So with a friend, you might say something like, all right, I should get going now, but it was great talking to you.
Or, I've got to run, but let's talk again soon. Gotta run is a very casual way to say, I have to go.
I like that. It's friendly and warm. And what about a formal call? How do you end that?
In a business setting, you can say something like, "Thank you so much for your time today."
That's a good one. Or, I look forward to hearing from you. Then you can say, have a great day, and then goodbye.
Exactly. A nice closing, like, "Have a good afternoon," or "Enjoy the rest of your week," is always a nice touch before you say bye.
So, to recap the main points, when you start a call, be polite and say who you are. During the call, speak slowly and don't be afraid to ask for repetition.
Right. Avoid multitasking and pretending you understand, and when you finish, use a nice closing phrase before saying bye.
It sounds so simple when we put it all together like that.
It is. The most important thing is practice. The more you do it, the less scary it becomes.
That's so true. And speaking of practice, we have a little challenge for our listeners today.
We do. We want you to get involved and practice your English with us.
In the comment section below this episode, we want you to write 1 or 2 simple sentences. Tell us, do you prefer making phone calls or do you prefer sending text messages?
And maybe add one short reason why. For example, I prefer texting because I have more time to think about my reply.
Or I like phone calls because it's faster and more personal. We would love to read your answers. What about you, Jake? Phone call or text?
Oh, that's tough. I think for quick questions, I like texting, but for a real conversation with a friend, I definitely prefer a phone call. You can hear their laugh.
I'm the same way. It's hard to hear a smile in a text message.
Exactly. So let us know your preference in the comments. It's a great low-pressure way to practice your writing.
And it looks like that's just about all the time we have for today's episode.
Wow, time flies when you're having fun talking about phone calls.
It really does. We hope these tips and phrases help you feel more prepared and confident the next time you need to speak English on the phone.
Remember, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to communicate. Everyone, even native speakers, has awkward phone moments.
That's the truth. So be kind to yourself and keep practicing.
Thank you so much for listening to Speak Slow English today. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new topic for you.
Until then, take care and happy learning.
Bye, everyone.